something going up if there's nothing going on. There'll be something going up if there's nothing going on.
Fancy another one, Joe?
Finally, my stomach was beginning to think my throat was cut.
Sorry, Joe. I'm doing my best to keep up, but you're drinking like a man possessed today. That must be 7 or 8 we've had now.
7. I got the odd ones.
Same again?
Please. And a whiskey. Oh God, it's him.
Nice to see you too, Dad. Hello, Sinead. Can I get a pint of Foster's and a packet of salt and vinegar crisps?
Oh, sorry, Jimmy. I'm afraid you'll have to eat something more substantial if you want to drink here now.
All right. Give me a packet of smoky bacon instead.
No problem. What's with the dressing gown? Have you had another breakdown?
Hey? Nah, working from home. Didn't even realise I've hardly left the house in ages.
But it's the afternoon, and you're dressed underneath. Do you not have any heating at home?
That miserable sod keeps switching it off.
Just because you stopped going to work, I don't want to end up with a massive bill.
You worried people might think you're a duck?
With the amount of heating and electricity you use, they'd think I was a fucking pelican.
What about all the money I paid towards the bills?
Well, you still owe me for the first 18 years of your life. You didn't contribute a single penny then. Anyway, have you no self-respect leaving the house in a dressing gown? It's disgraceful.
I don't know. I think I look quite distinguished. A bit like Hugh Hefner.
You effer, more like.
Anyway, you said I need a good dressing gown.
I said you needed a good dressing down.
While you're in such a charitable mood, I don't suppose any of you lot fancy sponsoring me. I'm going to do as little work as possible for a whole month.
What's it for?
Alcohol and drugs.
I'm not paying for your alcohol and drugs.
Alcohol and drugs addiction charities. And I want to see if it's possible to get paid more not to work than to work. See if it's a sustainable business model. Don't think I can face going back to that shitty old way of working ever again.
I'm out. It's a matter of principle. There should be no need for charity in this day and age. The fucking government should look after people. With all the smoking and drinking I've done over the years, I've paid more in taxes to this country than that Major Tom raise that they're all banging on about.
They gave him a knighthood. He's a sir now.
Exactly. For walking round the garden. I'm an old boy too, and I've walked back and forth to this place for years. Don't see anyone giving me an MBE for that.
Would you take one?
No, I would not.
The old boy's in good spirits today, eh? I think the good spirits are in him. He looks like he's going to pass out. How many's he had? 7. There you go, Joe. Merry Christmas.
What are you talking about? Christmas is fucking weeks away.
Yeah, but it's Christmas time, Joe. Christmas time. Some people have already finished work.
And what difference would that make to you? You haven't done a day's work in years.
That's only 'cause of me back.
Me arse, more like. When I was working, I always hated the Christmas break.
Why is that, Joe?
All the visitors and pretending to be nice to people. And it was harder to go for a drink from home than from work. It was like the fucking Spanish Inquisition for 2 weeks.
What about you, Sinead? Have you stopped working for Christmas yet?
Well, Mr. Observant, as you can see, I'm working now. But if it's the other underpaid job I have that you're referring to, then no to that as well. Hospitals don't close for Christmas, as people have an unfortunate tendency to keep dying or being born, even at Christmas. In fact, if they didn't, there'd be no Christmas, would there?
Hey?
Jesus Christ, you mean Jesus Christ, man? He was born at Christmas. Anyway, he wasn't born in a hospital, he was born in a barn.
Very good, Joe. I see we've got one wise man in today at least.
Do you think he was always leaving doors open?
I'd say he probably did, Liam.
I'm surprised he wasn't called Noel or Holly or something more Christmassy. And it must have been pretty crap for him being born then. You know, only getting the one set of presents.
Well, I'd say the fecker didn't do too bad, considering one of them was gold.
And if you think Christmas was tough for him, just wait until Easter time.
What's wrong, Joe?
I thought you were dead, and then a ghost.
You were asleep.
Then you must have been gone a long time. God, it was awful, Liam. You were in this horrific place and you were talking some form of gibberish. Actually, it is pretty much the same as here, except you had a bandage around your head.
You mean this? It's just my mask. It keeps falling off. Teresa made it for me out of a pair of my old underpants. I don't think she washed them first, though. Anyway, you must have been dreaming, Joe.
No, Liam. It felt like there was something more to it than that.
Hello, boys. I thought I'd find you here, Joe. Did you not get any of my messages? I've been trying to get hold of you for ages.
Sorry, Mary. The phone's been playing up.
One time I was sure I was talking to you, as we've been talking for about 10 minutes. But when I asked about coming around for Christmas, the voice said, "This is an answering machine. Don't leave a message." And I found some photos from Christmases past to show you.
Thanks, Mary. I'll have a look at them later. Why don't you show them to him first?
This was one Christmas in Agnes's. That's you, and your mum, and the seat where your dad would have sat if he turned up. You must have been about 14 or 15.
I look about 2 or 3.
And this is another year up in Agnes's. There's you, Mum, and Dad's empty chair again. I'd say you must have been about 4 or 5 in this one.
About 16 or 17, you mean? I'm smoking a fag.
It's a shame your dad could never make it in the end. He always had to suddenly work on Christmas Day. For a while we thought he might have been an undercover priest, but he'd have had to be a Protestant or a bishop or something with the family and everything.
But the building's always closed down for Christmas, Joe. I never missed a family Christmas. Apart from that one year back in the 60s when we were working on Germany and we stayed there on the Lash. Where was it we spent the whole break? Was it that bar in Dusseldorf or the beer hall in Hamburg?
Bar, Hamburg. What's this thing with looking back all the time? You can't change anything you've done wrong and you can't bring back what you've lost.
You're right, Joe. One time I bought a shirt, but it was the wrong colour. But I couldn't take it back because I'd lost the receipt.
Who's that in that one? I recognise him.
That's David Prowse, who played Darth Vader. He died the other day. He used to live in Archway. Your dad used to drink with him.
Who? Darth Vader?
Not Darth Vader. David Prowse, you idiot. Darth Vader lived on the bloody moon or something.
We lost a lot of good people, all right. Friends, family, and people who mean even more than that.
You a big Maradona fan then, John Joe?
Yeah, it was my nickname at school, because of the hair, like, and I was quite emotional too. Must admit this hit me very hard, and then it was compounded with the news of Peggy Mitchell.
You mean Barbara Windsor?
No, Peggy Mitchell. Finest landlady that ever lived. I learned a lot from her.
But Peggy Mitchell died years ago. She's from EastEnders.
No, she died the other day. Do you not watch the news? I think you'll find EastEnders was a documentary about a tough landlady in a shite London pub. So she was a bit of an inspiration to me. And it was a good Irish name too. Anyway, I'll hear no more nonsense about her, or you can get out of my pub. The same goes for any of you that don't abide by the present rules.
And what nonsense did they come up with now? Did they cancel Christmas yet?
Not them, me. From now on it's John Joe's rules, not feckin' Bojo's. Even he couldn't follow them.
Go on.
The first rule is you don't tell anyone what's going on if you want to carry on drinking in here.
What is this? Shite club?
And the second rule is that you'll all have to eat while you're drinking. Sinead.
There you go, Joe. I'll stick it on your tab.
This is the most ridiculous one they've come up with yet. How's a bloody pie supposed to ward off a virus? Mind you, one of Mary's pies could ward off God himself.
Didn't we used to eat biscuits to ward off scurvy when we worked on the site?
No, Liam. I think you might be mixing us up with pirates.
Joe's right, but it's the law. And as it gives me the chance to charge you a fiver for a pasty that cost me £1 is staying. And that idea you gave me about the finish at home roast dinner kits is working a treat.
I told you it was a crap idea and another example of gastropubs ripping off hipsters.
It's not a shite idea if you're the one doing the ripping off.
Hello, I'm here to pick up my roast dinner kit.
There you go. There's some frozen chips. Apparently they're better if you cook them 3 times. There's a tin of beans and a Scotch egg. That'll be 40 quid.
Great. Have you got dessert as well?
Yeah, I've got an orange club. It's a special offer, just a £5 extra.
Are there any other options?
You can have a club orange.
I'll stick with the orange club, thanks.
There you go.
Cool. Have a great Christmas.
No, I lost where I was. That's it. I've banned the very lowest of the loader coming here. You know, the junkies and the thieves. Except for a window between 11 and 1 on a Thursday, so you can still buy your steaks and electrical goods.
And about time too. Good price for the steak store.
Did you get anything for the kids from them, John Joe?
No, I told them Santa couldn't come this year because of all the restrictions, but the 2 youngest were crying like babies.
What age are they?
One is 2 and the other's none.
None?
Yeah, no years old.
Well, how many months then?
I don't know. How many months are you, smart ass? Anyway, in the end I just said he had to quarantine, so at least I'll be able to get something in the sales.
It looks like one of them robbing bastards left a bag behind. Hand that in the bar, will you? In case someone comes back looking for it.
Well, I don't want my fingerprints on it.
Bar, handbag.
I had a load of rolls, but even I can't keep track of them. I'll let you know when they come back to me, but in the meantime, enjoy your Christmases.
Hello, Mrs. O'Leary. You're looking very festive.
Thanks, Liam. It's a joy to be out in the world again.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come.
Hey, that's another one. No carol singing allowed.
Well, if I can't sing, how am I supposed to wash my hands?
Oh, and you might like to know, you come back from home in here now. I got the wifey in.
You mean the Wi-Fi?
No, the wifey, the wife. She knows loads about computers, so she set up a wireless internet connection in here.
Nice one. Let's try it out. Dad, fancy a Zoom call with your brother Jerry?
I wouldn't use that rubbish.
It's free.
Free? What are you waiting for? Beam me up, snotty.
I thought old Scrooge might like that.
Who does that make you? Whiny Jim, ha?
Does that make him Bob Catshit?
If you take the piss out of the cat again, you're out.
Right, you're on. Time to boldly Joe. What's this shade? Get rid of it. It's a background. I don't know how.
Hello, Joe. Are you in America now?
No, I'm not in feckin' America.
Molly, come here. All misery guts is in America now.
I'm not in America.
What's he doing in America? Can he see I'm not wearing anything?
I don't know. Let me put the camera on you.
Feckin' shite. Merry Christmas, one and all. Like all these considerate major companies, I'd like it to be known that I am here for you during these uncertain times. And just like all those considerate major companies, I'd also like it to be known that if you don't pay me any money's owed, I will look for you, I will find you, and I will kill you. Now, who wants a drink?
You're awful cheerful today.
Well, old man, that's because this has been a magical time for me, and as a result, I'm looking forward to all the Christmases yet to come.
Go on.
Well, for a start, it looks like I'll be able to go about my business wearing a mask for the foreseeable, and Brexit's nearly done.
I thought you in particular would be against that. You might find yourself with a hard border.
That's exactly what I want, and the harder the better. You see, smuggling's in my blood, and there's no smuggling sans frontières. I was the best smuggler in the galaxy,
He thinks he's Han Solo now.
and I'd love to lay you, princess.
You're such a prick. God, I hate you.
I know. You couldn't smuggle a budgie, yeah? Tell me one thing you've ever smuggled.
When we were kids, my uncle came to Derry to buy a bicycle for his daughter. And on the way back, he stopped the car and got me to cycle it over the border. I bet it was useless anyway. It made the Corsh Quinn to Bridgend Run in less than 12 minutes. She's fast enough for you, old man.
Ah.
Not if you round down, buddy. Anyway, it's nice to see that you're dressed in the festive spirit, even if your demeanour doesn't quite match.
He's got a point. You're normally a little more sombre.
It's the only clean thing I could find. Most of my clothes went missing from the laundrette the other day.
That's terrible. Did you report it to the police?
There's no point. And could you stop hanging mistletoe everywhere? It's not gonna happen.
And what makes you think it was me?
You're wearing a mistletoe belt.
Anyway, so I bet you're all glad the football returned, hey?
I stopped watching while I had all that fake crowd noise. It's like canned laughter. You should credit the audience with the intelligence to know when something's funny. Or not.
What do you make of all this taking the knee, Joe?
When I came to this country, there were signs all over the place saying no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. So I would take the knee. Us minority groups need to stand or kneel together in solidarity.
Our dog's a minority, Joe.
If you can kneel, then why do I always have to tie your shoelaces?
If I was a player who is a victim of racial abuse, I would take more direct action. I wouldn't take the knee.
You'll be taking the knee from me if I hear any more of your misogynistic shite.
Well said, Sinead. We were always a very culturally welcoming household when I was growing up. We had a St. Martin de Porres statue and a Charlie Pride LP. Although, I never actually met anyone from further afield than Monaghan until I came over here. It's a shame Trump didn't have the same attitude.
But at least he's gone now, Mary. Or going.
Still, he did keep his promise to make America great again.
I think that was meant to be G-R-E-A-T, not G-R-A-T-E. But things should get better now that Joe Biden's in charge.
Because he's Irish.
No, it's because they got a Joe in charge. I think we could do with getting rid of this crowd over here too. It's just been disaster after disaster. I was reading that Matt Hancock was giving out a contract for medical supplies to one of his mates. Some man he met at the Cock Inn. Disgraceful. You normally have to meet someone long before that stage.
Let's just hope this whole episode ends soon.
I think everyone's hoping that, Mary, except for him.
No, I think enough damage has been done already, so I can now share my exciting plan for the future. With this place on the verge of financial collapse, I should be able to buy it for a pittance and turn it into an even more illicit den, with drugs available freely and strippers performing day and night.
The ghost of Liam, Christmases past, presents, yet to come. I knew there was more to it. It's down to me to change things.
I won't stand for this place being turned into a strip club.
Well, Joe, I'm impressed. You really are an enlightened man. I thought you were just spouting your usual nonsense earlier, but I see you're prepared to make a stand against the objectification of women.
I thought it was because you didn't think women should be allowed in the pub.
Wished. I'm going to raise enough funds to save the bull's arms, just like Colonel Tom.
Hooray!
I'll stick this in the book of Guinness Records.
Joe, 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 Joe.
Joe, 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 Joe.
Dad.
Oh. Bleh. 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 Humbug.
There'll be something going on if there's nothing going on. nothing going on.